Connecting Central Texas. This is 25 News.
It's been cold, wet, and icy 24 hours for Central Texans, and it's not over just yet as temperatures won't start heating up until Saturday. Our 25 News team is on the ground in Central Texas and in the Brazos Valley with everything that you need to know. But first, we want to take a look at the latest on your forecast with Matt and Caleb.
All right, we are tracking this, and we, again, have a wind chill advisory in effect. That means wind chills probably in our area between 0 and 5 above in the morning. It is going to be cold when you wake up and for tonight as well. So if you're going out, if you have to get out, layer up, make sure that everything is covered up because it won't take long to get some frostbite out there. If you can stay home, it's best to do that as those roads are going to become glazed over with ice, and that ice is really going to harden up here over the next couple of hours now that sunset has occurred across the area. As far as anything falling from the sky, things are quieting down. Maybe a couple sleet pellets here down toward Bryan College Station and over into Grimes County. But other than that, things are pretty quiet. However, on the backside of this, notice on these radar sites, now these are in very sensitive modes, but we are getting some banding forming on the Fort Worth radar, the Abilene one, and San Angelo. That's telling us that we may get a couple snow flurries in here as we head into the overnight hours tonight. I'm not expecting any additional accumulation, but if you see one or two, there you go. And the ice on the roads, well, that's going to be around as temperatures will be 29 or below all across the area for tonight. That means anything that's on the road will become icy. So that means we're going to have some treacherous travel in the morning, and we will continue to track that. Of course, Caleb's been here all afternoon as well, sitting right here with me, and we've been looking at those road conditions and also looking at some of the fun sides of the winter storm as well here across the area.
It's not all bad. Some folks are having the fun in this winter storm, but first I do want to quickly touch on the roads. This is I-35, not too far from our station, in fact. This is the interchange with New Road. I've seen a couple TxDOT trucks every now and again, but even though the roads look okay now, keep in mind this one's pretty heavily traveled. The side roads still are not great. And nothing is going to be all right in terms of travel tonight when these things start to freeze over once again. So please just keep that in mind. By the way, travel between Temple and Waco continues to worsen. It's only getting slower. Red markings here on your traffic indicators. It is really getting to maybe a complete halt in some locations. And I imagine the weather is to thank for that. But thankfully, we haven't seen a whole lot of power outages. This is the latest from Encore, and I believe the greatest outage we have right now is in Harker Heights with 619 customers without power there, but elsewhere, the numbers are pretty small. Well, actually, this one just perked up, 229 in Temple on the south side. But again, for many, it was a snow day and a day to be indoors and enjoy it, or maybe outdoors. Whitney Ellison Woodway, her kids are making not snowballs, but sleet balls, which are a little bit harder to compress just because the way sleet is, but they were enjoying their day. Guinevere Landrum in Nolanville, Sleet Angels. You got to make work with what you can, I suppose. And finally, from Carolyn Metcalf, wonderful video that she sent in. I don't have a location, but not only the kids, but the dog were enjoying it today. They're going to go, got to wait for it. They're going to go down the hill, and the dog's going to chase after him. They're having a lot of fun today. Matt, I'm sure it was a good day for a lot of folks to take a day off, just get off the roads and be at home and enjoy some peace and quiet.
Yeah, I got a couple hours of my kids in the ice, and they wanted to get out in it this morning as well. So definitely can be fun, but it also can be treacherous. Roads will become very icy tonight, so that impact will not go away probably till tomorrow afternoon, then more patchy ice Saturday morning, and then we're done as we head into the weekend. So we're almost there. It's going to be really cold tonight, though, so make sure you stay warm.
All right, Matt, Caleb, thank you. And of course, we've got your news team on the ground across Central Texas and the Brazos Valley. We'll be joined later on by reporters Alicia Nespreto and Brittany DeFran. But first, let's head on out to 25 News anchor Todd Unger. He is braving the cold for us this evening. He joins us live here in Waco. Todd, what are you seeing out there?
Naya, here's the good news. We are at Bagby and Highway 6, and to be quite frank, not a lot of drivers out on the road. A lot of people listening to Matt, listening to Caleb, and of course listening to authorities, Waco Police and DPS urging people to stay off the roadways all day long. And as Matt mentioned, this ice is really these roads are going to start to freeze over again in the next few hours. Anywhere that might be slush now, it's not going to be slush around 9 or 10 o'clock tonight. So it's really important that people stay home during the overnight hours and in the morning tomorrow. 25 News reporter Alicia Nespreto, she's been tracking the road conditions in McLennan County all day long. She joins us now live with the latest on what she's seeing. Alicia?
Todd, the roads have been slick in Waco all day. Waco PD says that there were some car crashes earlier in the day, but thankfully nothing too serious yet. But now as the sun goes down and the nighttime brings some colder temperatures in, there is a chance that the water that's on the ground will freeze, and it'll be even more dangerous as we head into the night. Waco PD is out patrolling the streets to make sure everyone is staying safe and to keep an eye on roads that are unsafe to be driven on.
Really, it's just kind of a case-by-case basis. As our officers are out patrolling the area, they're monitoring the roads. If they see that a road needs to be closed, then we'll do that. And of course, if we close a road, those will be updated on our social media pages.
The department has been able to leave all of the roads open so far today, and they say that as long as you're driving carefully, they are drivable. If you do have to go out tonight, please make sure that you're driving very slowly and giving yourself plenty of space between you and the other cars on the road. Live in Waco, Alicia Nespredo, 25 News.
Alicia, thank you. Well, conditions not great here in McLennan County, and down to the south in Bell County, the roads are also pretty treacherous. 25 News reporter Christina Davis has been tracking that all day long, and she's here with a full report.
Meteorologists say what we're seeing right now is ice. The roads in Bell County are covered with blankets of it. Officials say if you're trying to go out and about, it's not safe.
One, this is not snow, it's ice.
This weather has drivers thinking twice. Shanae Searcy has lived in Killeen for just under a year. Thursday morning, on her way to the gas station, a driver in front of her lost control of their car.
When she slammed on her brakes, her car completely spun out.
This is just one example of how driving in these conditions could be dangerous, and an example of what not to do if you skid on the road.
There's been a few minor collisions due to the weather. Vehicles sliding off the roadway, taking an exit too fast is one that just happened moments ago.
For that reason, safety officials say it's best to stay at home.
Our advice is if you can stay home, that's the best advice, is to stay home and to stay off the roadway.
The department asking drivers to think smart before they get behind the wheel. And if you have to drive, take it slow, don't speed, and pay attention. As these temperatures continue to drop, experts say the roads will only get worse. If you can, stay off of them. In Bell County, Christina Davis, 25 News.
All right, Christina, some good advice tonight from Bell County. As we mentioned, this is not just an event here in Central Texas. It's impacting West Texas, certainly North Texas, and also the Brazos Valley. From our sister station tonight, Brittany DeFran is live there. She's with KXXV. Brittany, what are you seeing down there near College Station and the Bryan area?
Todd, throughout the day, the roads have remained wet due to a consistent light rain. As we move through the day, that light rain transitioned into a light flurry, and TxDOT says they've been working around the clock to ensure safety on our highways.
Our crews have been out since yesterday morning at 7 a.m. pre-treating all our bridges and overpasses and troubled spot areas.
TxDOT says so far there are only 3 main locations in the Brazos Valley experiencing icy conditions, including Robertson and Milam County.
But we do anticipate that the temperature is going to continue to drop throughout the day, and that the rain that we have gotten overnight and most of the morning will turn into some form of ice.
As conditions become more severe, local law enforcement and TxDOT are encouraging residents to stay off the roads.
We ask that if you are on the roadway, and you have to be on the roadway, and if you see us, please give us plenty of room to do our work.
During last year's winter storm, College Station PD says about 9 crashes per day were reported. Today across Brazos County, the numbers have favored slim to none.
We really, knock on wood, in Bryan at least, we haven't seen any accidents today. I'm sure that it'll happen at some point. It's inevitable. I mean, it happens on sunny days as well.
Cole Taylor attributes this to the lessons learned during Winter Storm Uri.
The community has been a little more prepared this year as far as having supplies at home, knowing the limitations in driving.
College Station says they're actively responding to crashes, and they've already seen ice on roadways. Drivers are going to want to be extremely cautious, and one way to do that is driving about 20 miles under the speed limit. But if you don't need to go outdoors, it's best to stay inside. And Brittany DeFran, KXXV News.
Brittany DeFran live tonight from our sister station KRHD in the Brazos Valley. Brittany, thank you. I also want to mention one thing before we send it back to the studio. Temperatures are really already starting to drop. Matt talked about this a little bit at the top of the show. Tomorrow morning, the wind chill could be 5 degrees here in central Texas. It's gotten a lot colder since we were live just during the 5 o'clock hour, Naya. So I think those temperatures are already really starting to sink, and obviously just another factor as to why people should not be out on the roads, because they are going to freeze over again very quickly. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Todd, thank you. After last year's winter storms, many Texans worried about the reliability of the grid. And while it's held up so far, thousands of Texans are still without power. We'll explain why coming up next.
And we are looking at quite a bit of ice out there across Bell County, McLennan County, and all points in between. So make sure you slow down if you have to go out. If you can stay in, that's the best course of action. How long will this stick around? I'll have the answer coming up.